Hello everyone, Assassin Nub here. Welcome back to Nub Rays. What you mean I'm just in my dressing gown? What are you talking about? It's the most assassin-y thing I've got, okay? But in this video, I want to take a quick look here at the Creed Coalition event. It's the first time a Coalition event has come back in a good few months. So I want to break it down in this video. So what I also have coming today, I've got like a damage testing and animations look at all 5 of the assassins. That will be out. Maybe it's out actually even before this video. Have a fusion plan out today as well. I think tomorrow I'll probably have to push the fusion showcase to tomorrow. And yeah, maybe an Ezio showcase then the next day. We're gonna have the event dungeon. They've said that it's not open right now, but it should be open in a couple of hours from when I'm recording. It might even be live by the time you see this video. So the event dungeon is gonna be open up as well. I'll try get a guide on that done to eventually. As you know, I'm back from a spa. Had a spa break for a couple of days, and of course all this stuff started dropping, and now I'm like super stressed again because I'm like, oh my god, there's a billion things to cover. This is crazy. But let's look at the coalition event. Let's do that. What is this all about? Well, there are 2 reward tracks for this. So first up, you've got the global reward track. This includes points from everyone playing the game. Every point that every player earns is added up together to unlock these rewards. You're basically guaranteed to get these. You have to earn at least a certain amount of points to receive the rewards, but it's not too bad. But you're basically, without you doing all that much yourself, you will get a barrel, a 5-star chicken, a primal shard, a legendary skill tome, and an avatar frame, which is kind of nice. So that stuff is kind of cool. Now, more importantly for this is the personal rewards. And the way this works is you actually get multipliers to your points based off of the overall progress. Now, these are retroactive. That's totally fine. And essentially the way you got, it's very easy to look at this, right? Really, it's very simple. By the end of this coalition event, you will have a 2 times point multiplier. So any point that you're getting from these quests is ultimately going to be doubled. And you want to work out, if possible, well, how far you can get. So in theory, potentially getting up as high as 20,000 points is the final reward, and it's really good. So if you can get 10,000 points from your quests, that will be doubled to 20,000, and you'll get all of the rewards. So that's sort of simply what you want to do. Yeah, these things are retroactive. You don't need to worry about finishing quests early or whatever. As soon as we hit these multipliers, they will kick in, and it's all fine. So there we go. Let's look at this personal reward track. Oh, I'm in the way. If I move me, it starts off with some gems, some silver, nothing too exciting right there. 3 energy pots is actually quite helpful for a fusion. 1-star basalt. We're going to get some materials as well for crafting some of these time-limited relics. Yeah, you can flip through and see stuff for yourself. Starstone's quite nice. Quite a few little rare relics, which will help kickstart a lot of players' accounts. Like if you're a new player and you're joining for this Assassin's Creed stuff, these rare relics are not insanely good, but they are really strong budget options, right? Like the elite options for relics, like this 20,000 points one, where you could get a mythical relic, that's going to be incredibly difficult to get. That's the sort of stuff for people who've been playing the game probably for a couple of years or more to be able to really be in contention for that. These rare ones, though, is going to give you some nice budget relics, which will make catching up to those players a hell of a lot easier than it was before. Yeah, there's a lot of nice stuff in here, nifty stuff. The legendary materials are pretty decent. Pretty much everything you're getting along the way is quite high value, so there's a lot of decent rewards in here, depending on what you yourself are able to do. The 100 mythical materials at the top is definitely the big highlight. It's giving you a 1 in 5 chance to get a mythical relic, which, I mean, 80% of the time, you're not getting that mythical relic. You're getting a legendary. It's not too exciting. So I think if you cannot max this out, don't feel too bad. But if you are able to do it, it's probably worth doing it. How do the points work then? So first up, let's actually do the limited quests first, because these are simple. They don't change, can only be completed once, and you've got the entire 4 weeks and 4 days to do it. So it splits up into 3 different difficulties: basic, expert, and elite. So for example, basic one is get Ezio. That's simple. Log in for 7 days, you get him for free. Easy. An elite version is get Cassandra. That requires completing the entire fusion. It's much more difficult. I would say, roughly speaking, looking at this stuff for Like the basic ones, these ones are probably doable, even for a brand new player. So if you start a brand new account here today or within the course of this coalition event, you can probably, if you play a decent amount, you could probably complete these basic quests within a couple of weeks, even on a new account. Again, you have to be playing a decent amount. If you're playing pretty casually and you've just started, I'd say even pretty casual play over the 4 weeks, you should complete the basic quest pretty easily. Now, the expert quests, they're a good bit more challenging. So beating stage 20 of the normal dungeons, fully upgrading Ezio skills, which needs quite a lot of legendary skill tomes. Winning live arena battles is a bit tricky. Superior extracts from Phantom Shogun's Grove, that's very tough. You have to be a very high level in Phantom Shogun to get that. Stage 20 of the event dungeon, you need to be surviving 750 turns against Hydra on Brutal. You'll be able to do, I think, some of these, some of the easier ones, like the stage 20 normal dungeons. You have to do them pretty quickly, though. If you are a new player starting with this event, there's like no way you're going to be able to do these expert limited quests. I'd say they're basically impossible. But if you've been playing for a few months, these are pretty doable. So I would say, you know, the basic quest is like a 0 to 1 month time frame, pretty doable. Expert is maybe more like 2 to 6 months, probably for most of them. Maybe a bit further, actually. Yeah, maybe 2 months to a year, depending on how hardcore you are. Yeah, and then the elite quests are going to be pretty tough. Getting Cassandra, you'll be able to do some of them. Like getting Cassandra, a 6-month player could easily do that. I mean, even someone who's been playing the game for a couple of months, if you've really prepared very well, could get Cassandra, even free to play. You could do it. It would be tricky, but doable. We've seen plenty of examples of content creators on their free to play accounts getting fusions, even on the first month of play, which is insane. But yeah, that's doable. Unlocking her mastery is pretty easy. Stage 25 of the event dungeon is going to be pretty tough. 50 live arena battles is doable because you could do that in bronze or silver. It's not so bad. And yeah, and so on, going through all this sort of stuff. But like all the double boss stages in Soul Cross on hard is very difficult, very difficult. I'd say generally for this stuff, 1,000 turns against Hydra on Nightmare, this is like a long-term player stuff. This is probably like, most of these are going to be like, probably like 2 years into the game. But you can maybe do a few of them earlier than that. But that's roughly speaking, I think, how those break down. The basic quests, very easy. Expert quests is for, you know, more casual players or players who've been playing for a shorter amount of time, but they're not brand new to the Coalition event, whereas basic is, I think, friendly even to brand new players. Then elite quests is fairly late game players who've been playing for a good amount of time or who are spending lots of money. The repeat quest, then, you can supplement your coalition points with repeat quests. And indeed, I think you will have to do some of these repeat quests in order to get the rewards. In fact, let me go. Oh, it's going to be tedious, but let me do it for you. Let me add up all of these points to see how many you can get from your limited quests, and then you'll have to supplement them with the event quest. So let me pause. Let me be right back. Okay, ta-da, here we go. Hopefully I've added them up correctly. I think so. It's come out to a fairly round number. I might have maybe made a small error somewhere along the way. Let me know if I have, because I'm trying to just get this done reasonably quick. But broadly speaking, this should be about right. So there are about 1,600 points up for grabs from the basic quests, just under 3,000 from the expert, and then a little bit under 4,000 from the advanced in total. Now, when those are doubled, that's what's in the brackets here. So at the end of the coalition event, when you've got 2x point multipliers, all the basic quests will give you just over 3,000 points. The experts almost 6,000, and the advanced about 7,500. If you do all of them by the end of the event with a 2x multiplier, you'll be at 16,700 points. Now, the top reward is 20,000 points. So in order to be in contention for that 20,000 points, you kind of want to be looking at doing all of these quests and then stacking a good chunk of repeat quests up on top of it. So it does get fairly intense. Now, as you can see, with the repeat quest, the way that it works, you have these cycle every 3 days. And within that, you're going to get 2 that are infinite. As you can see, I've completed this one 9 times already because I've forgot about a Sand Devil tournament. I'm trying to blast through it. You have one of these 3 quests is going to be a completed 1 time only, which is going to give you quite a lot of points. So you can see, for example, for completing this one, which was any of the other 2 5 times, I get 75 points. whereas each of these little ones is worth only 15 points. So this is a big chunk of points, 75. That will ultimately get doubled as well to 150 points. So definitely trying to complete your big repeat quest that 1 of 1 times is pretty good value. That's giving you good value. And then you can complete the other ones that are easy for you to do fairly well. So for example, I'd say killing enemies in arena in any game mode is pretty easy, right? If I just farm, make sure to use up all my arena tokens each day while this is active, I can get quite a few points in here. But broadly speaking, choose a reward that's going to be doable for you. So for example, if you're saying, Nub, I'm a new player, I'll be able to, let's say I'm ambitious. I'm going to be able to do the basic quest. I've just started the game for Assassin's Creed, though, but I can do the basic quests, right? So I'm looking at the 3,000 points. Like, you're not going to do 17,000 points of repeat quests for the 20K. It's just not going to happen. But you could come in pretty reasonably and say, okay, let me look through here. You know what? Aiming for that 4,000 points for an extra rare relic could actually be pretty helpful for me. I'm going to go for the 4,000 points. So I can do a few repeat quests. I can get that pretty easily. Heck, I could, if I'm feeling ambitious, I can maybe go for the 5,700, get myself another rare relic. That might be reasonable enough as well. So aim for something that will actually be doable for you. Don't go too crazy with these repeat quests. The way I would consider it is, look, for the top end players, if the top end players are being told they need 3,300 repeat quest points, that's pretty high end. Okay, right? That's pretty high. I think there will definitely be more than that obviously available, but that would be sort of a high limit of what you would expect with your repeat quests, and that's being able to do basically all of them and to grind them pretty efficiently. And if you're earlier in the game, there's going to be some of these that you can't do. There's going to be some that overlap with a fusion event and you're not able to do them because maybe it's like spend energy in non-gear dungeons, but guess what? I've got to do Spider for the Cassandra fusion or something, right? These could be a pain in the butt to do. Sometimes they'll work out well. Sometimes they won't work out well at all. So, yeah, I think that's, broadly speaking, that would be that. There's also a fun leaderboard thing. You can see where you are, where other people are. Oh, there are actually some relics up for grabs and stuff as well for these top end players. I mean, just forget about this, right? This is for the big old Krakens. It's not going to happen for anyone. Like top 6 player in the world is where the meaningful stuff comes. And then actually, if you're not in the top 10 in the world, you're not getting anything. So, I mean, you already know if you are capable of being a top 10 player in the world. Again, I would say you probably have to be spending $5,000 plus, probably, to actually be in contention of getting this in the month. I might be way off. It might be way more than that. I don't know. But something stupid, right? You know, right? If you're a Saudi oil prince, you're probably not going to wake up and go like, oh, hey, honey, sorry, taking the kids to school and going to work. Oh, wait, no, I'm actually a Saudi oil prince. Amazing. This is what? Crazy. I didn't know. What the hell? Yeah, so anyway, I think this coalition event, I think this is a pretty fun little idea. Don't get too stressed about it. Just treat it as a bunch of free rewards. Treat the quests as like fun little challenges to complete. Don't worry too much. I would say one thing to do, it definitely makes the Cassandra fusion. Like if you are in contention of pushing up to the highest rewards, completing the Cassandra fusion is a lot of relatively easy points. If you're not going for the fusion, you're going to have to spend a lot of energy just grinding these repeat quests otherwise, which are not giving you any particularly special rewards. So I think it makes the fusion more enticing and more appealing to get some rewards out of it. None of this is essential. Treat it like a fun little optional thing with some cool rewards. Do the challenges that are an interesting and engaging challenge to you. Don't stress about it too much. Just have some fun. If you're a Saudi oil prince, congratulations. And that's all we got. Right, cool. All right, that's the coalition event. Let me know what you think about it. I think that they ran one before. I really enjoyed it. But I think it was I think it got fairly mixed reception. I think the main reason being that trying to complete the repeat quest could feel like a hell of a lot of a pretty crazy chore on top of your regular daily chores. And I think people can find it upsetting if they're not able to complete everything. It feels like you've failed in some way if you're not able to tick these off. And I really strongly encourage you not to look at it as a failure. Like if you cannot complete all of these, if you can't get all the rewards, it's not a failure on your part. I mean, maybe it is, but probably it's not. Most likely, it's just that, look, this game is like 6 years old. They're trying to put in stuff that is a challenge and stuff for players that have been playing the game for 6 years to chase, or players who are spending thousands of dollars every month to chase. So if you're like, nope, I've been playing for 4 months, free to play, I can't complete all this stuff. Yeah, definitely, you can't. Don't stress about it. Do what makes sense for you. Get some cool rewards that you wouldn't otherwise have and be happy. That's my advice. There you go. I gotta go record about 20 million more videos today. Oh, wow, I've ripped through a bunch of energy. That's good. Right. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.